Hey, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Chris Maloney back with you for another edition of CWN Predicts TNA Wrestling Rebellion 2024, taking place live tonight, 8 o'clock p.m. on, I almost said Peacock. That is not right. TNA Plus, Triller TV, as well as YouTube. The Countdown Show, Countdown to Rebellion live tonight, 7 o'clock p.m., social media, TNA Plus, as well as Triller TV. And then Palms Casino Resort in Las Vegas, Nevada. So TNA, with regards to, I think, I don't think they put social media. I think like digital platforms or something like that with regards to the Countdown Show. So to me, it's always YouTube. I know they've done Facebook as well. I don't know if they're into TikTok as well as X or any of that. If they are, let me know. Feel free to let me know. I'll look into it. But definitely the Countdown Show, not half an hour tonight, but 1 hour, 60 minutes tonight. 3 big matches taking place on the Countdown Show. And like I said, 7 o'clock tonight, social media, TNA Plus and Triller TV for the Countdown Show there. 3 big matches taking place on the Countdown Show, as well as, where are we here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 big matches taking place on the show itself tonight. 11 big matches taking place tonight for TNA Plus, or sorry, TNA Wrestling, as well as it's pretty cool that, you know, without Scott D'Amore, they're continuing to be as great as they are. I did recap for the Observer last week. A couple nights ago, I end up watching most of TNA Wrestling, so TNA Impact on Fight Network here in Canada. And it's looks like it's going to be a good show tonight, so I'm excited for it. So that being said, like I said, Countdown Show taking place live tonight, 7 o'clock p.m. TNA Plus, Triller TV, as well as YouTube, social media, that sort of jazz. 3 big matches taking place, like I said. A 6-man tag team match taking place. Looks like it's going to be first ABC, which is Ace Austin, Chris Bay, and Leon Slater, joining them to take on the Rascals, which is Trey Miguel, Zachary Wentz, as well as Myron Reed. Slater, obviously being a rising star from the UK. The Rascals, if they had a 4th member, obviously besides, God, I forget his name, even though I just saw him on TV the other night on a past show. But God, who was it? There was Zach, there was Trey, and then there was, I can't think of what his name used to be. Anyway, long story short, Myron Reed. If there was a 4th Rascal, would be Myron Reed. I mean, they're buddies, and they've been to events together, this and that. So, I think at one point, before Zachary Wentz had come back, Trey Miguel was tagging with Myron Reed. Anyways, it's, I'm a big fan of the Rascals, always have been. I was glad to see them come back to TNA. But it's ABC on the other side of things with Leon Slater. The Rascals been there, done that, have a legacy behind them. ABC are still continuously building that legacy. But I don't know if ABC is going to be one of those next great tag teams. I don't know if TNA is going to send them in separate directions. But I'm going to say enjoy it while it lasts. With that being said, you got Leon Slater on that side as well. So that being said, ABC, Leon Slater for the win tonight. I want to see ABC pick up those titles once again. I mean, to me, it's just, obviously Rascals, a huge part of TNA Wrestling with regards to the tag team scene. ABC as well, especially with the Motor City Machine Guns now no longer part of TNA Wrestling officially. It's been done since I think late March, whatever the case may be. Their contracts expired, but they finally said farewell this past Thursday, so to speak, in that match against the System. But ABC and Leon Slater, like I said, for the win tonight. Next match, TNA Digital Media Championship match. Crazy Steve taking on the one and only Laredo Kid. This match, I believe they had said, if I remember correctly, was supposed to take place a while ago. Laredo Kid ends up getting injured. Now this match is officially happening. So Crazy Steve, Laredo Kid, I'm going to say Kid for the win in this one to become the new TNA Digital Media Champion. If the way they played it out, the way they played this up to have this match happen once again, I'm going to say, basically Laredo Kid was probably scheduled to take the title, or whatever the case may be, back in the day. And, the match didn't happen. And I may be confusing myself. But fact is, when it comes down to it, I'm going to say Crazy Steve loses this one. Laredo Kid and new TNA Digital Media Champion there. Apologies, guys. It is cold here in London. It's been nice all week. And today being cold, my allergies, my sinuses are all stuffed up, so I'm kind of all over the place. But just bear with me here. Next match, this one I'm looking forward to here: TNA Knockouts World Tag Team Championship match. Spitfire, who's Danny Luna, as well as Jody Threat, with Lars Fredrickson of Rancid in their corner. They are champions, taking on Decay, which is Rosemary and Havoc. I love Rosemary and Havoc. Seen obviously both of them wrestle quite a few times, that being Rosemary and Havoc. I got to see Danny Luna last May at the Impact tapings, as well as Under Siege that took place here in London. Jody Threat is a mainstay. I'm familiar with Jody Threat for years and years and years, and she's a complete sweetheart, complete badass all at the same time. But to know she's getting her gimmick over, there in TNA Wrestling, the same gimmick that she was, using on the independent scene here in Canada, is absolutely unreal, and it's cool as heck. And the fact is, Danny Luna being part of that as well. And I think I heard an interview. I think it was with Denise Salcedo. I think she does. Who was it? Fightful, as well as Wrestling Observer. But she did an interview with Danny Luna, and it's about Danny Luna getting into the business. And it was about Danny Luna basically saying that her brother used to watch it in England time and this and that, and he didn't want to watch it alone. It was like 4 o'clock in the morning, whatever the case may be. And so she'd get up with him and they'd watch wrestling together. That's how she got into it. And then she hit the gym, and it was like kind of one of those things where it's like, man, it's like I can start working out, and I'm going to be more powerful and stronger and not get injured as much, and blah 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 blah, and this and that. And that was kind of her rise to fame right there, was Danny Luna, her brother being interested in wrestling, her going to the gym. And then all of a sudden, it's when I got to see her last May, I was like, she's got something. She's very talented. And then to hook her up with Jody Threat, put those titles on them. I mean, it's absolutely cool right there. So that being said, I don't see Decay winning this one here. So I'm going to say Spitfire for the win, especially having Lars Fredrickson in their corner. Usually when there's celebrity, ringside, or whatever the case may be, it's usually that team that ends up, or that's certain person that ends up winning. So I'm going to say Spitfire for the win in that one there. Then, guys, we go into the main show. DJ Ashba, who's the guitarist formerly of Guns N' Roses in 6 a.m., plays the national anthem. That is kind of cool. That's new to TNA as well. And then we go on to a singles match. Joe Hendry taking on Rich Swann. Rich Swann is now known as, I forget what his nickname is, but he's a tag team name is First Class with $signs in it. Obviously, he's got AJ Francis in his corner there. Joe Hendry continuing the feud with regards to AJ Francis and now Rich Swann. And to me, it's as much as I like Joe Hendry, I don't think tonight's his night. I think this feud's going to continue. I think, if Yuya Uemura hadn't taken off to Japan, I think, Joe Hendry probably tag team champion or tag team scene still. I think, he's got to find a tag team partner with regards to Rich Swann and AJ Francis, obviously First Class, because the fact is that the numbers game is going to, keep playing against Joe Hendry. You got AJ Francis still learning. You got Rich Swann, former, Impact TNA Wrestling champion. So I'm going to say, with that being said, Rich Swann for the win in that one there. Full Metal Mayhem match, another match I'm looking forward to tonight. The one and only Eric Young taking on Frankie Kazarian, two TNA originals, two TNA mainstays, and with Eric Young, the promo that was shown on Impact, I'm still getting used to the TNA name once again, but it is TNA Impact that takes place on Thursdays. So with Eric Young, that promo that was shown backstage, the promo that was shown, it was Eric Young, current Eric Young, looking at the sickness, so to speak. And the next thing you know, the current Eric Young disappeared. And then the sickness was the only kind of member that was left between the two of them. So it's Eric Young was basically saying that in order to win this match, he's got to go kind of deep, so to speak. He's got to turn back into that guy that he used to be. He's got to, basically find that sickness once again. So I'm looking forward to it. The gimmick tonight, the match itself, basically weapons all over the place. And it's two talented individuals. Got to see Eric Young wrestle a few times. I don't know if I've ever gotten to see Frankie Kazarian wrestle live before that. I don't know for sure. I don't believe he was at the tapings last year. So I don't believe I've ever got to see him live. I've got to see his wife, Tracy Brooks, but not him. So that being said, Eric Young, Frankie Kazarian, what is it to win for Frankie Kazarian versus Eric Young? I think Eric Young, especially with the gimmicks and basically sanity being present once again with regards to the other two members. They're actually taking on the name Sanity Wrestling. I don't know if it's Progress or who it was for on WrestleMania weekend. And then all of a sudden, you've got his association with Diener at one point, and it's I don't know, Eric Young for the win in this, but I'm more curious, I'm more interested to see where they're going to go with Eric Young, as well as his gimmick or stables or anything like that. So Eric Young for the win in the Full Metal Mayhem match tonight. I think it's going to be one hell of a match. Could take it for match tonight. We'll have to wait and see. TNA World Tag Team Championship match coming up next. The System with Brian Myers, Eddie Edwards with Alicia Edwards taking on Speedball Mountain, which is the one and only Speedball, Mike Bailey, and Trent Seven. To me, the System is just way too strong, and you'll understand when I get to the main event. But looking at the faction, the entrances, the way they all click, I don't see it. I don't see Speedball Mountain taking the titles off the System unless the System goes, in disarray tonight, and basically that's it for them. But the stable right now is strong, and that's what TNA Wrestling needs: is strong stables, strong competitors, strong gimmicks, whatever the case may be. So that being said, Brian Myers, Eddie Edwards look good as tag team champions. Obviously, look good in the main event this past Thursday with regards to the Motor City Machine Guns. They the backpack stunner into what was it? Into the oh no, it was the clothesline into the or was it the stunner into the I'm confusing myself, but it was the backpack stunner, I believe, into the final cut, that clothesline that Brian Myers does, and that was the end for Chris Sabin in the ring this past Thursday. But that being said, like I said, they're too strong of a stable right now, and with Moose as champion, the System to retain tonight against Speedball Mountain. Much I love Mike Bailey, Canadian. Fact is that tonight's not the night for Speedball Mountain. Next match, TNA X Division Championship match. This here is appealing in the fact that you've got two complete different contrasts as far as their styles go. You've got the talented Mustafa Ali as champion. Completely underrated when he was WWE. Should have been more than what he was, and then he's doing his thing now, wrestling the independents, wrestling TNA. As X Division champion, just previously fought at Windy City Riot against who was it? Was it Takahashi? I think it was Hiromu. It was anyways, but they just fought, and that was an amazing match there. So Mustafa Ali taking on Jake Something, who's just complete powerhouse, complete brute. He's got wrestling knowledge and he can move in the ring, but the fact is, when it comes down to Jake Something, he's just pure power. But then see him dive over the ropes a couple of weeks ago to take out kind of the entourage, so to speak, of Mustafa Ali, the campaign. It was absolutely something to see. So not only is Jake Something strong and powerful, but man, the moves set that he has is pretty damn cool as well. And then all of a sudden, if Diener is around, Cody Diener is around, obviously, that kind of plays up as well, because Mustafa Ali basically, with regards to the Grizzled Young Vets, if they're around, it's Jake Something's going to do something to have to balance that out. So anyways, that being said, it's one of those things, again, I believe Mustafa Ali doing too well as a champion, looking good as a champion. Now is his time. He just won that title not too long ago. He's not going to lose it tonight. So as much as I like Jake Something, Mustafa Ali for the win to retain the TNA X Division Championship tonight. Last man standing match. This could be another show stealer right here. So you got the one and only walking weapon, Josh Alexander, taking on Hammerstone. And if you've seen TNA Wrestling the past couple of weeks, and why wouldn't you have? Fact is, when it comes down to it, you've got two powerhouses. And this, I believe, is the third match between them. And the way it's played out, with Tommy Dreamer being attacked a couple of weeks ago, and then Josh Alexander be like, you know what? Enough's enough. Last man standing match taking place tonight at Rebellion. This here, you've got Josh Alexander, talented wrestler, but the fact is he knows how to throw it down in the ring. And then you got Hammerstone, who basically always throws it down in the ring. So you get two big beasts going at it, and it's just going to be one hell of a war tonight. Last man standing match. I feel bad for Jade there being ringside. It's much the same as Ricochet, Samantha Irvin. It's like, her husband's right there, and this match itself, they're gonna beat the crap out of each other. I'm looking forward to them beating the crap out of each other, but I'm looking forward to one hell of a match as well. Like I said, this could be match of the night here. That being said, Josh Alexander is missing that championship, the way to get back to that championship. And as well as, as much as Hammerstone is new, as much as Tommy Dreamer was the one to bring him in, he'll get there. I just don't think it's yet. And if you build this feud, you build this chemistry now, and Josh Alexander ends up winning that championship again, you have Hammerstone as a legitimate threat to that championship to be able to take it from Josh Alexander, which, fighting for the title would be absolutely cool as well. So I'm going to say it's the build towards the championship once again. Josh Alexander for the win in this one here. TNA Knockouts World Championship match with Jordan Grace as champ, taking on the one and only Steph DeLander. Obviously, Steph DeLander will not have Matt Cardona in her corner tonight. Unfortunately, he, surgery with regards to a torn pec. He's going to be on the shelf for probably a good 6 to 8 months, I believe. So it's unfortunate, and get well to Matt Cardona. But the way he was doing it on the indie scene, and he was here not too long ago in London with regards to taking on Adam Copeland. That was kind of cool. I kind of feel bad I missed that night, but I was at a family event that night. But anyways, yeah. So it's Jordan Grace, Steph DeLander. Jordan Grace coming back to TNA Wrestling, becoming a champion once again, focused on TNA Wrestling. Haven't heard anything with regards to contracts coming up for Jordan Grace. Doesn't make a lot of sense to me, especially now with Matt Cardona on the shelf, to have Steph DeLander as champion. Jordan Grace looks way too powerful. The Royal Rumble, obviously, this past year, and to me, it's like you want those stones set in place, and Jordan Grace is one of those stones, and basically leave her as champion. That being said, Steph DeLander, it's not your night tonight. Jordan Grace for the win to retain the TNA Knockouts World Championship. And then final match of the night, guys, TNA World Championship match. As I said, Moose as champ taking on the Wanted Man, Nick Nemeth. Nope. Not happening for Nemeth. That's all I can say about that. And as much as it's been a good build, as much as it's made Moose look stronger, as much as Nick Nemeth has been able to use his voice, reestablish himself as a different character, he's looked good. But the fact is, the system's way too strong. Moose looks great as champion. And to me, if you're going to have Josh Alexander eventually win that title back, why not have him win it back against Moose? Me being biased Canadian, by the way, wearing the Boston Red Sox hat, but I'm a biased Canadian. I'd love to see Josh Alexander take that title off of Moose. So that being said, Moose, to me, the system way too strong right now, and the fact is, when it comes down to it, Moose to retain against the Wanted Man, Nick Nemeth tonight. It's going to break a lot of people's hearts, me saying that, but the fact is, when it comes down to it, Moose to retain as champion, and still right there. And finally, and I didn't forget about this, TNA Wrestling on their website, plus who will show up when the lights go out at Rebellion. So if you saw that little what was the video, so to speak, that they played at the press conference this past Thursday, and all of a sudden they uploaded it to their social medias, and all these different clues within this like 30-second video, and a lot of people saying it's focused on a stable. And I was thinking about, it's like, if they're going to bring in a stable, or basically reform a stable, so to speak, who's it going to be? And it's like, I couldn't think of anybody. A lot of people saying Sanity might be it, but I didn't get the feel from Eric Young's promo this past Thursday that that's what it's going to be. And then you start thinking free agents, this and that, with regards to, who from the WWE was released who, is maybe wants to work again, or who have they repackaged, or AEW, or whatever the case may be. And it's kind of like, I was thinking about it. It's like, I cannot for the love of me think of who the heck it's going to be. I don't think it's going to be Sanity. I think if Sanity is going to show up, I think Sanity is going to show up in the Eric Young match there. But that being said, I was thinking about it, and it's like, who's the guy who's missing right now? TNA has been repackaged. He hasn't done much since he left. And, he's done stuff, but he hasn't done a lot. He's not WWE. Excuse me. He's not AEW. So why not? And if they're talking stables, now this is the only thing that caught my mind. Sami Callihan, OVE. Bring them back. It's maybe that's it right there. Sami Callihan's been known with the video gimmicks and this and that. It'd be perfect. But then you think Matt Hardy. That was another name that kind of trickled with regards to Broken Matt Hardy and with him being released in this and that, not released, but not re-signing with AEW. And I was like, but I don't think it's Matt Hardy. I think if I'm going to put my money on this, who will show up when the lights go out at Rebellion? Who's famous for the lights going out? Yes, Sami Callihan. And if it's faction based, I'm going to say OVE is with him. So that is my prediction there with regards to who will show up when the lights go. I'm going to say Sami Callihan with or without OVE, but that is my pick right there. So guys, 11 big matches taking place tonight, live tonight, 8 o'clock p.m. TNA Plus, Triller TV, YouTube. and you can get that for about $5, I think it is, or you can, that is on YouTube, or I think it's $9.99 with regards to TNA Plus. Countdown to Rebellion live tonight, 7 o'clock p.m. Social media, TNA Plus, as well as Triller TV. That is for free. Palms Casino Resort in Las Vegas, Nevada, and I'll go through my picks once again. ABC and Leon Slater for the win in their match against the Rascals and Myron Reed. Laredo Kid and new TNA Digital Media Champion beating up on Crazy Steve. Spitfire to retain against Decay. Then we get the main show, singles match. Rich Swann, I'm going to say, defeats, where are my notes here? Rich Swann defeats Joe Henry. Eric Young defeats Frankie Kazarian in the Full Metal Mayhem match. The System retain against Speedball Mountain. TNA X Division Championship match. Mustafa Ali defeats Jake Something. Last man standing match. Josh Alexander with a little bit of bias defeats Hammerstone. TNA Knockouts World Championship match. Jordan Grace defeats Steph DeLander to retain. And in the main event, the one and only Moose defeats the Wanted Man Nick Nemeth to retain as well. And who will show up when the lights go out at Rebellion? Once again, Sami Callihan with or without OVE. So, guys, those are my picks with regards to TNA Wrestling Rebellion 2024 taking place live tonight, of course. As always, check me out at Chris Maloney CWN with regards to social media, that being Threads, X, Instagram, as well as Reddit. Reddit, I still can't figure out, by the way. Every time I make a post, it gets deleted. And they're not bad posts, but I posted with regards to Eric Rowan, and ECPW, and not being able to attend the show because of contractual obligations, and it got deleted. And it's like, okay, and I don't understand Reddit's theme. Like, I go on there to kind of read spoilers of the news, whatever the case may be, but every time I make a post, it gets deleted. So anybody who's out there, Chris at CWNonline.ca, that's my email address. Send me an email how to work Reddit better. Or maybe there's a book out there, or a website, Reddit for Dummies. But anyway, I'll figure it out. But I enjoy Reddit. I just I'm not very good at putting posts out. But yet I can do a podcast on the website, no problem at all. But I'll leave it at that. Anyway, guys, tonight, enjoy Rebellion. TNA Wrestling obviously puts on a good job as far as their pay-per-views go. You got Matthew and Tom doing the play-by-play, Jay doing the ring announcing. So, yeah, guys, check out TNA Wrestling Rebellion 2024 tonight, live 8 o'clock p.m. Pre-show kickoff, 7 o'clock p.m., of course. And as always, check me out at Chris Maloney, CWN, Chris at CWNonline.ca. And that is it. So I will be back tomorrow. I don't know if I'll be back tomorrow live, depending on family commitment, life, so to speak, just because of the timing, 3 p.m. on a Sunday. But the show itself for Dynasty, CWN Predicts AEW Dynasty, will take place tomorrow at 3. Whether or not I'm live or if it's a premiere, it's still going to air at 3. But guys, check that out tomorrow. And then I'll be back with the Throwdown, episode number 12 next week, sometime Thursday or Friday, more than likely. But guys, that's it for another edition of CWN Predicts. Thank you very much for watching and listening. And as always, I will talk to everybody again sometime soon.